Kia ora whānau. Hope you fellas are all safe and well during this lockdown. I've been doing fine, you know. I've just been lazy bum all throughout these past few weeks. During the lockdown, I'm actually sort of, I'm not gonna lie, I've been enjoying it. You know, getting paid not to do anything. It's really good. You know, I mean, this is the most weeks I've had. Like even Christmas, our Christmas holidays, like we only get like 2 weeks for the Christmas holiday. So this 4 weeks, it's like whoa, it's like crazy. But the only downside is that we can't sort of go anywhere. We have to stay, you know, here. But basically, it's like, just been cruising along, pottering around, you know. Yeah, it's all been good. So I hope everyone else is the same. I hope no one's too bored. But basically, I thought I'd just sort of share my 2 cents about what's happening with the lockdown. Apparently, so basically, some people are calling this lockdown an overreaction, and by some people, I'm talking to, you know, mainly referring to the Dr. Simon Thornley. He's come out and he said that that basically alert level 4 response to the COVID-19 has proven to be an overreaction and can now be scaled back. This is according to Dr. Thornley, who is a lecturer at the University of Auckland. So, okay, thank you, Doctor Lecturer. Basically, as well as it's not just him, but you know, you got other people as well, like the trade, like your common businessman, the trade experts, you know, and all these other people are basically talking about the economy, getting people back into it, you know, back to work. And basically it's like, I've heard and I understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, it sort of sounds like this lockdown is more of an inconvenience rather than a necessary action, kind of. If it, like, that's just my opinion. It sounds like most of these experts, doctors, you know, they find this lockdown to be more of a nuisance, like a really big inconvenience to them. It kind of sounds like that, and I don't know, you see, for me, I don't know if 11 deaths is an overreaction, you know. Maybe we should go and ask Italy. How about we ask Italy if what we're doing is an overreaction, you know? That's how I see it. I mean, look at sort of, excuse me, look at what's happening overseas. It's sort of like, I don't know, is it an overreaction? I don't think so. For me, I think, you know, I think what the Prime Minister is doing is right, and I think the decision to put the country into lockdown, I think, was the right decision, and it was made at the right time. And I think the reason why our cases and our deaths are so low is because we've gone into lockdown where other countries didn't, or they chose not to, and now they're suffering because of inaction, or because they took so long to go into lockdown, especially, you know, other countries like Italy. Like, holy cow, look how many deaths. It's like, I don't know if that's if that's an overreaction. Like, you know, I think over here we're very lucky, you know, here in New Zealand. Like, I think we're very, very lucky. Like, we haven't had many, you know, shootings. We did have the mosque, which was unfortunate, but, you know, school shootings, we haven't had, you know, many of those. Wars, there's no wars going on here, compared to other countries. Our government is, I mean, it still can be better, you know, it still can be better, but I think our government is taking the right actions, especially Jacinda, our Prime Minister. I think what she's doing is the right decision, going into lockdown, is the right decision to make, I believe. Yeah, there's the economy, I guess you could say, but, and your, and your businessmen and these trade experts are very like, look, we need to come out of lockdown now, like, after the 4 weeks we need to come back into it, and but it's like, but for me it's like, well, if we come out of lockdown, then what will happen to the elderly people? Because when we come out of lockdown, there will be more deaths, that's all. For me, I've got a lot of grandparents, and I care very deeply about their health and well-being. I understand some people don't necessarily care, maybe, about their elderly people. Maybe some people don't really, visit their grandparents that often, maybe. I guess maybe that's why some of them are quite sort of, okay, we've done our lockdown, now we need to go back to, making sure the economy is safe. And it's like, I don't know. See, for me, I think all life is precious. And I don't know. I mean, look, to me, in my opinion, like the economy don't care about me. It don't care about no one. Let's be real. The economy, it don't care about you, mate. If it was between you and the economy, you'd be put on the chopping block. That's sort of how. Well, I mean, that's how I've sort of seen it. And by listening to Dr. Thornley, listening to these trade experts, it seems like they'll put anybody on the chopping block, if it means for the good of the, for the good of the businessman, sacrifices must be made. That's what I don't know. Look, man, I don't want to sound rats, but these people sound like, they'll look, mate, they'll put you and your grandmother and your children on the chopping block if it means the good. If it means, they'll sacrifice anybody for the good of the company, for the good. They sound like, oh, what's his name, from Monsters Inc., the crab. And he's like talking to Sullivan, and he's like, I'll kidnap any child. I'll kidnap any child if it means, what's best for the company. And I'll Mr. Waternoose, is that his name? Waternoose? Bro, that's what some of these people sound like. They sound like Waternoose off of Monsters Inc. Straight up, I'm just like, they'll sacrifice anybody. I'm like, man, this is ridiculous. Even, oh man, even you've got old Duncan Garner, is that his name? You've even got Duncan Garner. He's had enough. He's sick of having to wait in line before going into the supermarket. He's like, he's had enough of that. He don't want to, he just wants to get in, grab his stuff, and get out. Like, he's, oh man. This is just, I don't know. I think for me, this is the right decision. I think what Jacinda and her team are doing is the right decision, and and I think if the Prime Minister decides to extend our lockdown time, I've got no problem with that. Even if it is another month, I don't got no problem with that. I mean, I think the economy will be fine. To be honest, I don't think it'll collapse. Like, I don't know, because once the lockdown once we come out of lockdown, people will just go out and start buying things. More shops will be open, more people will be buying stuff. I don't know. I just don't think anything will happen to the economy. I mean, the economy might take a bit of a hit, but I don't think it'll be as devastating as, let's say, more people dying, catching the virus and then dying, especially compared to other countries. Like, I think we're very lucky here, and I think it's because we went into lockdown early is why our results are so good. But for me, and this is what the Prime Minister said, is that she wants to, when we do come out of lockdown, she doesn't want to come back into lockdown. And I think that's sort of what the Prime Minister wants to avoid. You know, she doesn't want to have tell businesses to open up. Yep, you can go back to doing what you want to do, and then a couple of weeks later have to then tell businesses, okay, you have to shut up again. You know, you have to close down again because we're going back into level 4 because cases are rising, deaths are rising now. And then, you know, so it's sort of like, you know, for me, I'd rather just go in the one direction, if that means extending the lockdown in order to, you know, because I don't want to go back and forth. And I think this is the best way to do it. If you know, so I don't know. I mean, I'm very interested to hear about other people. What does other people think? Like, do you think this is an overreaction? Do you think that the Prime Minister made the right decision? Do you care about your elderly people? Maybe might be a question you want to ask yourself. Has anybody asked the elderly people about how they feel about this? You know, you know. I mean, you know. I mean, if you're elderly and you're hearing some of what these people are saying, you know, I mean, you've got people saying, you know, oh look, the elderly people are going to die anyways. Let's just come out of lockdown. And I'm just like, damn, that's some of you fellas are cold, man. Some people are like, straight up, I'm not even over exaggerating, you've got some people like straight up like, look, they're elderly, they're old, they're gonna die anyways, so we should just keep going, you know, as we were. I'm just like, I don't know, I don't know if I can stand by that statement. I don't know, man. For me, I don't want my grandparents to die from coronavirus. That's basically it, you know. And when I turn 75, I don't want to die from the coronavirus either. That's just my opinion. As a youth of Aotearoa, that's my 2 cents. Yeah. So take it as you will. But I hope everybody keeps safe. Look after one another, and yeah, catch you fellas up in my next video. Peace.